Hello?
Yes, Moise. You can share your screen, Moise.
Okay.
So, Moise, until you share your screen, can you share with me, please, in your opinion, what is the difference between a list and a queue?
Um, a list, I mean, a queue is it's used to receive like order or priority. A list is just like attributes basically, or like
Uh,
values.
okay. And uh, when we iterate through or loop through a list, is it the same behavior like we are looping through a queue?
No,
So, what is the difference?
um, I mean, they hold different values.
Okay. Um, if you have a queue in a restaurant, so and the queue is full with a list of uh, let's say the queue is for a waiting list. Okay, so the people of operating the restaurant, they have a list and they call that a queue, and they say, okay, there is three people that is waiting for tables to be empty so that he can enter um, and sit in the restaurant. Okay,
Uh-huh.
so and at the moment there is only three tables inside the restaurant. Okay,
Yeah.
so in this case, um, when a table is empty, then we are able to take maybe the important person, one of the important persons, one. So we have three people waiting,
Uh-huh.
and we let's say uh, there is a priority. Maybe is some there is important figures that we want to quickly find a table for him first. So
Okay.
let's assume that we have one, two, and this is number three is the third highest priority, and this is the person that we need to really find him a table fast.
Okay.
Okay, why we are using a queue, but we are not using a list? Because um, it is not, so if we take person number three, which is highest priority, and we find him a table, actually we don't need him anymore on the queue or even on our list. We should he should be removed, right?
Uh-huh.
And this should
Yeah.
be done automatically. And this is the function of the queue. Once you retrieve something from the queue, it is totally removed out.
Okay.
So when you call a get on a queue, it actually it removes the item that it is going through.
Okay.
So, but the list does not do this. You can loop through a list 1,000 times and nothing will be removed unless you totally remove it by
Okay.
on your own. Okay.
Yeah.
So, but a queue is different. So queue is arranged from the lowest priority to the highest priority. Highest is always at the end. If you want to get the highest, you have to go through all the queue until you get the highest. If you do that, it means that you have to remove one by one. Okay.
Okay, that makes sense kind of because since there's an order, you can't like you have to go to the through the order once.
Yes.
That makes sense.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it is true that it is weird that we can get highest priority. So when we create this kind of high priority, it means that we are actually removing the people from the queue, which is actually not so. I don't think that it can be used properly in here. It can suit more a search engine. So it means that okay, you search for something, and the search engine Google
Uh-huh.
will say, okay, there is maybe 10 possible results. And then he arranged that one by one and show it to you, starting with the highest priority it's supposed to be. Okay.
Uh-huh.
And so he said, okay, I make a queue, I list whatever in the queue to you one by one, and then the queue should no longer exist after I list everything in the queue for you. I
Yeah.
mean, we are not keeping a queue after we show whatever inside the queue.
Uh-huh.
Does this make somehow
So that
sense to you?
that concept makes sense now. Like you go through it, but you don't need to use it again.
Yes, it's done. It's not like a list that you keep repeating, looking through it.
Because it's for lists, we can like use for and keep go through it forever if we want.
Yes, this is not
Okay.
the case.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
so okay, again, like what I
When
told
we
you,
use get, when we use get, it just retrieves it once.
it retrieve it and delete it from the
Got
queue.
you. Got you. That
Okay,
makes sense. Yeah.
okay. So uh, so if you want to retrieve highest for highest priority again, you want to call highest priority again here.
Uh-huh.
So you have to fill in the queue again with different content. Then you can call it again and get whatever in the queue again.
Uh-huh.
But in this case, highest priority can be only called once, because once you call get for every item here, then
Uh-huh.
the queue will be totally empty after that.
Okay. That makes
Okay,
sense.
good. Okay, we move to the next, please.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, so tell
Okay.
me, yeah, what are you trying to do here? And
This one was to raise an exception if it was less than zero and then or greater than 120. So this one I needed your help with too, because I did something similar to this later on. It worked. So look, if I put in 20, it says valid age. If I put in, okay, never mind. Earlier it was when I was doing negative numbers, it wasn't giving me the error.
okay, but I see your code is actually somehow correct.
Yeah,
Uh, and it is raising error. So once you put more than 100, can you test it with 120?
yeah. It is valid age.
Yeah, yeah, but more than 120.
Okay.
1 to 1. Okay. Can I
What,
understand?
what, it's already running
Press.
right
Did you press enter when once you?
now. Let me see.
Okay, so it's working. It's working, except that I want to. So you have to use you have to call super. So when you don't call
Okay,
except.
yeah, yeah. So over here, this is what I was gonna show you. I did the same thing kind of, but I used super instead.
Yes, you should use super.
Mhm.
You should use super. Super is used to call the class you inherited from.
Like that.
Okay,
Like this.
so yeah, somehow this is correct. Yes,
Oh,
yep. So yeah, this is okay.
okay.
Okay, so let's go to the next.
in this. Okay, here one.
So you have a circle, and then you are trying to make a unit test for it, right?
Yeah,
Okay. And
this
then,
is kind of unfinished. This next one is finished, but this kind of is unfinished.
okay. And can I know why you didn't use setup? But never mind. What you're doing is correct. Let's so um, somehow, okay. Can you run it and see what could be the results from what we are seeing? Yeah. Okay.
Right one.
Brackets here, please, after the circle.
Oh yeah.
And the indentation here in self.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Module Q1. Okay. Uh, I mean, I don't understand that. 56. Can you comment that line?
Yeah.
Okay. Run. Okay. Let us see the error here. Test negative and line 76. Value error not raised.
76.
76. So, do you understand what is he trying to tell you here?
For the error.
So, typically in your code, when you go in the constructor of the class circle, you should test the input before you assign it to the radius. So what you're doing here, that your test is telling us here that you run 3 tests and there is one failure. And the error is actually here because you did not raise. So let me see. So he's telling here value error not raised. Okay, so it means that you did not check. So here is testing that you should construct your class to, when it takes something as a radius, it should check the value and raise an exception if the value is negative. So how to do that? Go to your constructor. Before that line, we should check the radius. The radius should be always positive. If it is not positive, then we raise an exception. Show me how you do that.
So we move.
Here, your work is here.
We can put this over here.
No, I mean, just you have to do the check here. Now you're taking a radius as an input, right?
Uh-huh.
Okay, now I want you to check the radius is positive or negative before you assign it to the variable.
Do we do this?
No. Here is only testing. Your work should be here in the class itself. Put an if statement to check the radius is positive or negative.
If uh,
If it is bigger than 0, then store the value of the radius inside self.radius.
okay.
Just
Store
copy
the
that line.
restore the value of this
Just copy, yes, copy this 60, put it under the if statement, and then put an else. So if it is not, what should we do?
If it's not greater than 0,
Yes, what should we do?
uh, well then, if it's not greater than 0, what do we want it to do?
We want to do something that is mentioned to us here.
So which error was raised? Is it if it's equal to -1, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So I mean, he's asking us to raise value error exception. So you should write raise value error
Okay.
exception under the else. I think no need to write exception. Just write. Don't write the word exception. Just error and then put it to put brackets if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
Yeah. Try to run and see.
Okay.
Okay, so it means that we're having a different error, right?
Yeah.
So this error disappeared. So once we, so again, wait, please go up. This line number 60 should be removed because
16.
this here should be, you already put it here. No need to repeat it.
This one, right?
This one, 60, line 60. Comment that line.
Oh, 60, you said.
Yes.
Yeah, you're right.
Okay. You run again, it should work.
This
Okay.
makes
Now let us try to figure out. So circle object has no attribute area. Why do you think?
circle has no attribute area.
Yes. What is the line here? Line 77. So you see?
Area isn't defined anywhere.
So it means that so area is, you know how to calculate the area of the circle, right?
Pi r squared.
Square, yes.
Yeah.
So you should define a method
Yeah,
that is area.
this should be area, right?
So you define an object that is a circle and you pass it a radius, and then the area, yes, what you are doing here is somehow correct.
Just set area equal to expected or expected area equal to
No, no. The problem is occurring on line 77. Line 77 is this. He's trying to call the method area,
yeah.
and you have not created a method inside the class to calculate. So what we are trying to do is that we're trying to test the functionality of the class circle.
Yeah.
You haven't calculated, you haven't put or created a method
Any,
called area.
anything for area, yeah.
You're calling it, but so
Yeah, I need to make something for it.
yes, make something for it so that when you call it, then it returns the correct value.
A new method called area
Yes, here, line 65. Not
65.
in the test, not inside your test circle. It should be in your class circle.
Okay, okay. Yeah. Okay, so we just want to make sure that we do basically this, right?
Exactly, exactly.
But we would just do
Return.
Return what?
So where is the radius? This is yeah.
Do we have to put radius inside here?
No, not necessary because you already have radius saved in self.radius. You
Yeah,
see?
right. Pi. Pi comes from this, right? Unit test from
Yes,
that.
yes, yes.
So what did we have to return, you said?
So radius is stored here, right? You
Yeah.
already so use it from here.
So self.radius.
Yes, exactly.
Okay. I read it and there's no error.
There's no error, right? So it means that we managed to fix. So and it also tell us that we already passed. So it means that we constructed the circle class correctly, and we have made whatever necessary
Oh,
to make
yeah.
sure that this radius is okay and the calculation of the area also okay, and we don't accept negative values for radius, and everything is working.
Okay. That makes sense.
Okay.
Could I test it with some attributes or some objects?
Again, sorry.
Should I test it with some objects?
You already tested it. So when you call that test here, you already, I mean, you already created the objects here. You
Yeah.
already, circle is an object of class circle, and you already do all the tests. It's all done just by running this line. You have done all the tests. You no need to
Uh-huh.
test. Previously, your lecturer have to tell you that okay, you need to create an object, pass it a
Yeah,
value,
exactly. Yeah.
just only because you didn't take that unit test before. But with this unit test, you already create the test
Yeah,
for
I
everything.
see.
You don't need to create any more.
You create the test within the with themselves.
Yes, contained in a certain place, a fixed place. You don't have to comment it after you
Mhm.
finish your code.
Okay. Makes
Okay,
sense.
so we move to the next question.
Yeah. Okay, this one I think it worked. So I did.
Okay, that's good.
Okay.
So you try to put something that is less than zero, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. It's working. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. And this one made sense too.
Yeah, you're passing the message to the super. Yeah.
Okay. We can move on
Wise.
from here. Yeah.
So what's next?
We can we can go on from what you have in your lesson.
Yeah. Okay. We have done that part. Let me see. Have you done any questions so far about irritable objects? The one that use
So
next
this
and
one,
is done?
I saw that you posted this. This didn't seem like too hard. I kind of can't figure this out, so I wanted to do more of the other question. Wait, so go down. Keep going down.
Yield, we have done it and it's easy so
It is
far.
good, yeah.
This
Keep going
comprehension
down. Yeah, this
also,
we did.
let me understand. So you would like to do something with exceptions or with unit testing?
Let's do unit testing again.
Okay. So
So I did the circle one.
similar to the circle?
I already did the circle one, so we want to do the other one?
Yeah. So this is creating a unit test for an employee class. So you have a name, age, and salary, and then you need to create a unit, three kind of unit test. So check first that the employee class can be initialized to valid values for name, age, and salary. And then the employee class raises an exception when an invalid value is provided for the age. We know that the age is similar to the radius. So the age should be within a certain range. We cannot have age -1 or
Uh-huh.
even 0. And we cannot have age maybe bigger than 120.
Yeah.
Okay. And uh, also the employee class should be able to calculate the annual salary, which
Uh-huh.
is typically this monthly salary multiplied by 12. So we should
Okay.
check that the
I think we
class.
did something like this too, right?
Sorry again.
I said I think we did something like this too, right?
We didn't write it. We just talk about it. So, but
Okay.
if you know, so that was a starter. That was a starter code. So
Uh-huh.
I wanted you to focus on creating the unit test itself instead of just building a class, because that's simple.
Okay.
So that's totally up to you. You want to, if you know how to do it, then it's okay.
Yeah, we can do the question if you want.
Let me see if we have a harder one. Um,
Okay, sure, yeah.
let me see here. So I would say, what about if you do a class
Uh-huh.
for mass operations? Okay, so
Okay.
this mass operations is addition, subtraction, division, and multiplication. So you
Okay.
do a class for that. So you create four methods: add, subtract, divide, multiply, and then you create a unit test for that.
Okay.
That's
We
uh,
did
that
the
is
add
one.
method and the division method. Okay.
Yes, and um, and also so you created something similar to that
Yeah.
question, which is
Oh,
about the student. So if you do the division, and then also another possibility is we create a queue, and then so this is a class of a queue. I can pass you the code for this class, but you need to
okay.
make a unit test for that. So you
Okay.
need to test every method here that is working correctly. So that is tricky. This is really tricky. It's more
Okay.
tricky than the student and the multiplication. So if I want to start, I would start. I pass you the code here for the
Okay.
queue, and I wanted you to create. So you are able to test. You're able to use a queue in this way. So you
Okay.
should create a test to be able to test the enqueuing part when you add something to your queue. Is it really add or not? So that is a tricky one.
Yeah, so yeah, you said that you just gonna share it with me and then we're gonna go from there, right?
Yeah. So
Okay.
yeah, we have to off.
Okay.